Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nell's Parent Blog, where we are making investments as parents in the lives of our children for tomorrow. And we have been talking about Love Tank and how everyone has a love tank inside of them, and also how to fuel the love tank that we have. And we fuel this love tank through the love language that each and every one of us possess. And we also talk about how we can identify those love language in our children. And if this is your first time viewing this video, I just want to welcome you today. And it's not too late. You can always go back and watch the other videos on my YouTube channel or either on nellsparentblog.com, and you could, be able to view them there as well. And so today we're talking about um, the fourth love language, which is receiving gifts. The first love language is physical touch. The second one is words of affirmation. The third is quality time. And so a lot of times these love language stand individual on its own. Some might be a little bit easier to detect and recognize than others. And even in the earlier years of our children's lives, we also communicate these love language to them. And a lot of them, most of them, like physical touch and words of affirmation, we communicate those love language more frequently because as infants, we want them to be secure and a sense of safety and let them know, and also to recognize our voice and our touch as parents. As they get older, then we also need to find out what their love language is and to speak it to them. Because in doing this, we're filling up their love tank, we're fueling their love tank, and then our children will know, that they're loved. Not the way in which we want to love them as parents, but the way that they feel loved by us as parents. And so today we're going to start on number 4, love language number 4, which is receiving gifts. We all give gifts to our children, and some for different reasons. And so, it's not to say that you stop giving gifts to those children that don't display this love language. But for a child that their love language is receiving gifts, it means so much more to them. It's not just, okay, mommy and daddy went on vacation and they brought me something back. And, or I actually, we a lot of times as parents, we will give these gifts because we want good behavior. So we give them gifts out of reward. So we use it as a reward system and we call it a reward system. But really in the end of it and the underlying truth to that is it becomes bribery. And the reason why I use the word bribery is because we are pretty much as parents bribing them to display a specific behavior. And so they now attach the gift to what is expected of them. So it's not that you're giving me a gift because you love me, but you're giving me a gift because you expect me to behave. And the outcome of me behaving is now that I get a gift. And so I'll behave so I could get the gift. And that's the way our children think, honestly. They're not looking at the fact that mommy and daddy loves me because we're not the only ones that give them gifts. There's teachers that might give them a pencil or stickers. The doctors, the pediatrician give our children a reward. They give them stickers after they've poked them with a needle. Have you ever experienced that? And so they have now most of the times tied gifts to their behavior. So if I'm expected to do my best to be brave at the doctor's office, I'll get a sticker. If I take the medicine that I don't like, I'm going to get a sticker. And if I do my best on a specific spelling test or clean up my room. All these things we attach gifts to. And so I'm not saying the gift is wrong, the giving of the gift is wrong. No, I'm just saying that we have to find more positive ways of giving the gift. And it doesn't have to be where they have to do something to receive the gift. It could just be, you know what? As a parent, we go to the store and we come home, we say, you know what? I was thinking about you. And I saw this gift and it reminded me of you. And so I got it. And they would probably say, well, why did you give me? Because I love you. And so that's a more positive way is of giving gifts to our children, not because they cleaned their room or they did a good job while you were away out of town or, on vacation or on a work schedule or anything like that. But just because you were thinking of them and they they're yours, they're your child, and you want to express your love in different ways. You could do it verbally, you could do it physically, and you can also do it through gifts. And that's the next point I'm going to make about receiving gifts. This love language doesn't stand alone in the sense that it's not, you can't just give gifts. You do have to use word of affirmation when it comes along with giving the gift. Physical touch comes along with giving the gifts, receiving, gifts, because you embrace the child and you also use your words to explain how much you love them and care for them. So this gift, this love language actually is connected with the other love language. And that's what I mean by that. And so how do you identify that your child's love language is gifts? It's pretty much by how they receive the gift. Now, our children might be just grateful and they're taught to say thank you. But for a child that their love language is receiving gift, they are so in awe, oohs and ahs. They might express that as they're opening it. They don't just look at the gift. They look at even the wrapping paper, and they actually want you to creatively find ways to give them a gift. Whether you wrap it, whether you hide it and they have to look for it, whether it's in odd places like in a lunchbox or in their drawer or under their pillow, or, they come in the house and there's a specific place that they go first before anywhere else, and you place it there and it's wrapped up. For a child that displays and their love tank is fueled through receiving of gifts, they not only focus on just the gift, but it's the whole process. They take in the entire process from us wrapping it, from where we put it. All of those things mean so much to a child that speak this language. And so we want to communicate it in such a way, and because all of it is an expression of our love to these children. And so we don't want to just say, here you go, but we want to make sure that we present it in a way that they know that we took the time as parents to put thought to it and to think about them and to express our love to them. We might even find that the children that display this love language, they'll put it in a specific place once they open it. They'll display it and look at it proudly in their room. They might even talk to friends about the gift that they receive. And so it's not necessarily that they're bragging or boasting about the gift, but because of the expression of love and the warmth and heartfelt that they felt from their parents, they want to share that. And so you might notice that your child does that if that's their love language. They will also continue to talk about this gift. And it could be years to come that they will say, oh, I remember when my mom and dad or my grandma gave me, this gift. And they will remember exactly how it was packaged and how you presented that gift, whether they found it in a drawer or whether it was in a lunchbox. And so children who are fueled, their love tank is fueled in this way, they will remember. And just keep in mind that you might not see this early on. You don't see the love language of receiving of gifts early on in a child's life until, they start probably about 4 or 5, and they can, be able to express their likes and their dislikes as far as their emotional need is concerned. They can express at 2 and 3 their likes and their dislikes, but that's more like all their needs, whether it's bathroom, eating, what they want to play with, what they want to drink. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying in that area. But as far as communicating to them so they feel loved, it's usually about 4, earliest I would say is 4, but usually about 5, 6, and going older that they're able to express that. And then also, this is the year that they might also express to us what they remember and what they remember as far as the gifts that they receive. And so you can pay attention to your child if they're at that age. They will talk about those specific gifts. And I'm not just referring to Christmas time or birthday, but it's other times as well that we give gifts. They will also talk about those gifts and they will remember. And so even if your child is not talking about it and they're not expressing to you, what it means to them, I just don't want you to become discouraged as parents, but continue to do it. Continue to give them the gifts. Continue to just fill their love tank, because usually by the time they are teenage and young adults, they'll remember. They'll remember, and they will actually sometimes even in their own adulthood draw back and reflect back on the times that we as parents did this for them. And they will express appreciation and gratitude later, even if they don't really do it now. But because we've fueled up their love tank in such a way that they have all this time felt loved by us as parents and was confident and secure in themselves, because they felt and they recognize the expression of our love through their love language, which is receiving gifts. And so, not to say I'm not saying that you stop giving your other children's gifts, because for me personally, I give gifts to all my kids. Now, I'm in a process as well where I'm still trying to figure out if receiving of gifts, the 4th love language, is one of my children's love language. Sometimes I think it is, but I know that it's not for all of them. And so I don't just give the gift to one child, but I will just give a gift to all of them. Because if you're giving a gift in a positive way and not bribery, and not to expect a specific behavior or an outcome when you give the gift, then there's nothing wrong with giving all of them a gift. And I express when I give them a gift, I said, well, I was out and I just thought about you, and I was just wanted to give you something that I know that you would enjoy. And since you've been, showing an interest in this, and especially if the gift, keep in mind, if the gift is cost effective. I go to a lot of times like the dollar store. I go to that Target, the section in Target where it's $1, and I find inexpensive things. I also sometimes just write them a note, or even if it's a flower that I find outside, a particular smooth stone, because I know one of my childs is interested in collecting stones, I will do things like that, things of nature that don't cost, but it's worth a lot, especially to the child where their love language is receiving gifts. And so We want to be more positive when giving gifts. And I hope that helps as far as trying to identify if your child's love language is receiving gift. And then also to encourage you that you can continue to give, even if you can't identify it now in the early stages of your children's life, but you can continue to give gifts as a way of expressing your love, not as a way of getting your children to do what we want them to do, or to clean their room, or to expect a specific behavior to be displayed when we're out or in public places. And so we want to be able to express our love in different ways. And receiving of gift for a child that speaks that language is one of the ways that we can communicate with them. And in the end, we'll be fueling their love tank. So parents, there's nothing wrong with even physical touch, displaying physical touch to your child, using words of affirmation, and spending quality time with your child, and also receiving gifts. Even if it's not their love language, it won't hurt them. If this is all to nurture them and so that way they feel secure and confident in themselves, it won't hurt, even if it's not their language. And so therefore, uh, you want to continue to do that. Please don't forget to share the video and to subscribe as well to my blog. And you can view me on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel as well where the video is also posted, and this link is also posted to my website. And if you have any questions, please put a comment or a question in the comment box. I do have an email. You can email me, and then that way, if you have further questions regarding receiving gifts, number 4, love language, or even the previous ones, or even just parenting, please feel free. I encourage you to reach out to me, and so that way we can learn. And if you've experienced different ways also of communicating this love language to your child that's working for you, please share that as well, because it might help another parent. And so we want to grow together as parents so we can grow our children for tomorrow. And we're doing this by planting the seed of love through receiving gifts and hope and faith in our kids. Take care.